What's up, you guys? Happy belated New Year and welcome to my new room setup. Now, I've been thinking about this a lot and I've been wanting to do some videos that relate to gaming, but I will talk more about that in probably an updated video or something like that. So let's get on with this review. For a while now, I've been wanting to get a Pro controller for my Nintendo Switch, so I decided to check out the official Nintendo Pro controller. But the $70 price tag seemed a bit too much for my budget, so I went on Amazon and decided to look for alternative Pro controllers. And eventually I found some budget-friendly controllers. So after a really long and stressful search, I eventually came across one. And guess what? It just came in the mail today. And it's this bad boy. The JYS Wireless Pro Controllers for Nintendo Switch. I paid $28.99 for this, and man, it's worth the price. I know this may sound weird, but it actually smelled nice. Even when it came out of the box, it smelled nice. Okay, so let's check out the box first. Just like any other third-party controller, this looks like the official Nintendo Pro controller box. And here is some vital information. Feel free to pause, by the way. So, in case you were wondering, the controller comes with your standard USB Type-C charging cable, your Switch wireless controller manual, and of course the controller itself. Now, upon first grasp, the controller actually felt pretty good in my hands. And it also has a nice weight to it. The button layout looks really nice. It's got your standard A, B, Y, X buttons, an actual D-pad, which is why some consider grabbing a Pro controller because the left Joy-Con doesn't have one, and it turned you off. But for me, I actually didn't mind that there was no D-pad. However, when playing retro-style games like Blaster Master Zero, it does kind of feel awkward. The minus, plus, screen capture, and home button placements feel kind of weird while playing, but I really don't mind where they're at. They also made the L, R, ZL, and ZR buttons look like the PlayStation 4 controller, and I mean that literally. On this controller, said buttons are actually like the ones on any PlayStation controller. The control sticks are nice and long as well. One of the buttons you might have noticed first when looking at the controller is this turbo button feature. For those who don't know what the turbo button does, generally it'll switch a button on and off really quickly. Let's say you assign turbo to A. It'll just have the same effect of pressing the button really quickly if you just hold it down. This is real nice. I like these controller grips that the controller has. And we have the label for the Switch wireless controller on the back. Unlike the Joy-Cons and the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller, you're not going to turn on the Nintendo Switch via home button with this controller. You'll have to turn on the Switch itself first and then press the home button to turn on the controller in order to play. So here we're going to test out the control sticks first, which are fine in my opinion. I'll get more into why I say that in a little bit. The motion controls are really well done. This is like I'm actually playing with an actual Pro controller or with the Joy-Cons in their Joy-Con grip. The button response is really effective in this controller, and the triggers feel nice. Man, I just found this right now during recording. That's pretty awesome, actually. The D-pad is also really responsive, and to demonstrate further, I will show you footage from Blaster Master Zero. Now we're gonna get into the problems that this controller has. Connecting it to the Switch for the first time is a struggle. I cannot stress that hard enough. It wouldn't connect to the console, so I had to go to the computer and update it through the PC, and even that was hard. Although that would be on my part because I didn't really pay attention to the directions that the page provided, so it took me a while to get it, and eventually it worked. The control sticks, they are a bit iffy, but I think take some getting used to. I've tried recalibrating them and they kind of feel the same. First I thought it was better, and then I turned the switch on again and it felt like it needed some recalibrating again, so I didn't bother. So I don't know if recalibrating helps or maybe it's different for everybody. And finally, the turbo button. Now it may sound weird to you that the turbo button might be a con for this controller or any controller, but in this one it just doesn't work. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or anything. I am such a dumbass. So I played around with the controller a bit more and I found out that the turbo button actually does work. I just didn't know how to use it properly. So as you can see here with Blaster Master Zero, the turbo button actually works pretty fine. All you have to do is just hold the button down. To turn off the turbo button, you just press the turbo button and whatever button you pressed at the same time, and there you go. Now this may be a complaint for some, which is pretty much minor for me, a minor complaint. Based on reviews I've seen on Amazon, the rumble on this controller is pretty strong. Now for me personally, I have not reached to that point where it gets like really annoying. I don't know if you could hear this, but this is how it sounds at the rumble. Yeah, but it's not really annoying me right now. But there is a way you can get rid of the rumble. You just go to the settings and turn off the rumble. Another minor complaint that I have with this controller is that there is no NFC support, which means you can't scan amiibos. However, I really don't give a damn because you could just use the Joy-Cons. So here are my final thoughts. This controller is actually pretty solid. One of the many things I found interesting and liked about this controller is that it resembles a PlayStation 4 controller, despite its design for Nintendo Switch. Now if you're on a budget like me, this controller is for you, for less than $30. I'll give this controller a 4 out of 5 stars. If you want something better than this, you might as well just go ahead and grab the official Nintendo Pro controller for Nintendo Switch. I have tried the Nintendo Switch Pro controller at a relative's, and it felt pretty nice. I liked everything about it. What I heard about, though, is that the D-pad is kind of iffy, but for $70, it's really out of my budget. So, do you have one of these controllers? Do you think it sucks? Do you think is good for what it's worth? Feel free to input your opinions about this controller in the comments below, and if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Also subscribe for more metal and gaming videos, and be sure to click that notification button if you want to get notified on every video that I post. And as always, stay metal.